Today in crypto, Chainlink is currently the undisputed king of the Oracle space, and it is an absolutely integral part of the entire crypto DeFi ecosystem. But it is not the only Oracle provider. There is a growing list of challengers vying for market share, and this video is going to explore some of the more promising ones that could actually be poised for potential 100x growth in the coming years. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the wild land of crypto. By the way, if you want to buy or trade any of the oracles that I mentioned in today's video, you can buy and trade all of them on Binance. Binance is the world's top exchange and offers super deep liquidity and loads of advanced trading and investment features for you. And as a special bonus, if you use the link down below to sign up, you will receive a 10% rebate on all trading fees on Binance. And also, just before we begin, I have to make this super clear. No one has paid me to talk about any of the coins mentioned here. This is just free information for you to use or not use as an investor. Also, I own some, but not all, of the oracles mentioned in today's video. Also, these are just super short overviews, and they are definitely not intended as a replacement for doing your own research. You have still got to go out there and put in the hard work before pulling that trigger and putting your own money on the line. So keep that in mind. Let's get into this. So as we know, oracles super hot. Data is the new oil, and oracles are the pipelines for that data. It is one of the most valuable commodities on the internet right now. But in order for that data to actually have value, we must be able to trust that the data we are seeing is true. And moreover, when we talk about making financial decisions based off of this data, we need certainty that it will be correct. And of course, if we see this executions with smart contracts, it becomes absolutely essential. Now, this, of course, has led to the rise of decentralized oracles, the first and most famous one of which was obviously Chainlink. But Chainlink is not the only oracle in town anymore, and while it was the first and currently enjoys a massive lead in terms of network effect, there are a few oracles that are definitely worth keeping an eye on. Now, I'm only mentioning 3 today. This is not a definitive list of all oracle providers. There's definitely a lot more. These are just some of the ones that I find interesting. But one thing is for certain, that the oracle space is definitely primed for growth. Look at how fast DeFi and all the DeFi platforms and products are growing. It is gonna continue to move. We're gonna need a lot of oracles and a lot of oracle demand. The demand for reliable price feeds, it's only going to grow. Because a blockchain like Ethereum, it's essentially a closed system. The dApps built on it cannot access external data unless they build their own oracles, which is a tricky and a dangerous task. Or they can always use a third-party service like Chainlink or one of the competitors, which we'll be talking about today. There's also native oracle pools coming to some blockchains like Polkadot and Cardano, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Now, you may ask yourself, if Chainlink is currently in such a dominant position, then why would you even want to gamble on a competitor and not just buy Chainlink? Well, it's a good question, and gains. That's why. That's the simple answer. Plain and simple, guys. More gains are to be had if any one of the oracle competitors starts to gain market share. Anyway, here are the top 3 competitors to Chainlink that you may want to consider investigating if you are into decentralized oracles. The first one is, of course, Band Protocol. The Cosmos-based cross-chain data oracle has a big focus on DeFi as well as use cases beyond the blockchain world. There is a world outside of blockchain. I was surprised to learn that as well, but it apparently exists. Of the 3 oracles we'll mention today, Band is without a doubt the biggest competitor right now to Chainlink. It has partnered up with just loads and loads of different cryptos, including some very famous ones. We have Tron, Phantom, Nervos, Binance Smart Chain, DeForce Icon, Elrond, Gravity, Waves, just loads of others. So the Band's doing really well in terms of actually nailing down the partnership. Banned protocol, of course, like all other altcoins, got pretty gosh darn smashed in September. Like with everything, it's been pretty brutal watching that correction happen. Currently, the market cap is $150 million, meaning that it would be nearly a 40x move to catch up to the current market cap of Chainlink and an 80x move to catch up to the previous highs of Chainlink. So that's a lot of opportunity for growth there. The second one on our list today is Tellor. Now this is an Ethereum-based oracle. It's quite different than the other oracles because it actually uses a proof of work network where miners compile data before sending it on chain to power smart contracts. So it's definitely a very different approach that they're taking. The Tellor V2 upgrade has actually just launched, and it is bringing about a big performance upgrade in terms of speed of settling data on chain. More data points per block are also being added. We have better security parameters being brought in, as well as token fee burning, which is pretty gosh darn big for the long-term price appreciation for Tellor. Now, Tellor is starting to make some partnerships with players like Linear Finance, but to be honest, it really needs to up its game in terms of partners, considering just how tough the competition is and how some of the network effects are so much bigger of the competitors. Tellor is currently around a $33 million market cap, meaning that to hit the same level as Chainlink right now, it would be more than a 100x move. And to hit the previous highs of Chainlink, it would be more than a 200x move. Now, personally, I'm not sticking in for 100x. I'm not sure it would even get there. Personally, I'm planning to step off the Tellor train when 1 Tellor equals 1 Ethereum. But in theory, it could have a much longer way to run. Okay, and the third oracle we're going to be talking about today is DIA, D-I-A. Now, this is an open source oracle platform that enables market actors to source and supply and share trustable data. They're advertising themselves like the Wikipedia of oracles. Now, this was built specifically for the DeFi ecosystem. So DIA token holders internally manage, obtain, and validate data through crypto economic incentives and staking governance tokens. Now, in addition to being a cryptocurrency oracle, DIA can also provide APIs for traditional finance as well. So again, it's crossing that bridge between the blockchain world and the real world. But DIA has definitely been making some strong moves for being such a new oracle provider. DIA has, for example, inked deals with Fortube, Hedgeit, Anchor, and Elrond, as well as now providing data feeds for BZX, Maker, DYDX, Aave, Compound, and Bancor. So it's done a lot in the few months that it has been on the market. It's, of course, not a brand new project. They're working on this since back in like 2018. Now, the DIA token is used for paying data suppliers, voting on governance issues, and look, DIA saw a big run up in August and has now gone through a massive correction like the rest of the market. Currently, DIA has a market cap around $37 million. Chainlink is around $3.8 billion. So if DIA ever became as popular as Chainlink is right now, so a couple years down the line, if it can get that same level of popularity, then that would be a 100x gain based on the current price of Chainlink, and a 200x gain based on Link's all-time high. So that's a lot of room to run. Whereas Link, to get back to its previous all-time high, would only be a 2x move. 2x or 200x, that's your choice. Of course, assuming that DIA can actually gain that market share. And as a closing thought, there is always the possibility that Chainlink is indeed the new Chainlink, and that it just has too big of a network effect for any of the challengers to really be able to capture a significant market share. They'll capture some, but Chainlink might dominate like 90% of the market. $20, it was probably not the ultimate high watermark for Chainlink. I don't believe that at all. $100 Chainlink, not out of the question at all over the next few years. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, those are just my 2 Satoshis. What do you think? Can any of these competitors ever take a decent portion of Chainlink's market shares? They're hungry, they're well-funded, they have good teams, they're getting connections. It's very possible. And if so, is it one of the oracles that I mentioned here in this video? Or is it another one of the oracles that I didn't mention in today's video? Let us all know down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out. Till next time.